Hello guys, good to see y'all. All right, so try to make this quick as I can for y'all. We're gonna be talking about the elements and principles of art. First thing I'm gonna talk about is the elements of art. This is what you're gonna be using to help you with your journal for this week. Um, and I don't want to overwhelm you too much with the journals. I know we've talked about elements of art before, but I really want to touch base with y'all about it again because you're going to be using it for your first project, okay? And if you have already, well, nobody should have started on their first project yet, but I would suggest y'all do the journal first before you do your art project. Okay, this is because the elements of art and principles of art are gonna have to do with your uh, journal, but it's also got to do with your project too. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on it. There we go. There we go. Think y'all can see that. All right. So the first element of art, and let me go ahead and organize it real quick. There are 7 elements of art. Some people say there are 8, but we're only going to work with 7 for right now. And if you want to make your own like little graphic organizer or something to keep them all together or whatever, that's totally fine. I like to think about it this way because space always goes right here, and you have enough space. You have enough space to get the idea of it. All right, so line is the first element of art. You see line in a lot of things that deal with art, but there's a bunch of different types of line, okay? The first one that we always talk about whenever we're starting out kindergarten or anything like that is a straight line, okay? Then you have dotted, then you have zigzag, and these are just basic lines like that's a crazy looking zigzag line. And you also have curvy. All right. And there's so many different types of line, but you can also have lines that don't exist, like as a straight line or whatever. They just kind of make their own thing like that. All right. But this is a line. Okay. Now, line, whenever you turn it or whenever you close it up, that means it goes all the way around or all the way till it connects to the other end or to the beginning end and to the end. That becomes a shape. All right. And there are 2 different categories of shape. Okay. So, shape. All right. There are 2 different categories of shape, though. You have geometric and you also have organic. Now, geometric, those are the shapes that you can, they have corners, you can divide in half. The easiest way to describe it is if you are able to divide that shape in half and it's even on both sides, then it's geometric. Okay, so we have triangle, we have square, we have rectangle, we have a circle, and we have oval. Okay, and there's also shapes such as like a diamond, rhombus, hexagon, those shapes with more sides and stuff to them. All right, so geometric shapes, again, if you can divide that shape in half, let's put an imaginary line there, dotted line. If you can divide that shape in half and it's even on both sides, then it's geometric. All right, organic shapes, those are those shapes that are pretty much found in nature. They're free flowing. They're like they don't really. Basically, the easiest way to explain it is if you divide those shapes in half, then they're not going to be the same on both sides. Okay, so if you look at a cloud, big old fluffy cloud, if we take that cloud and we divide it in half, it's still going to be uneven on both sides. Okay, now same thing with a leaf. A leaf is another organic shape. It is not going to be the same on both sides unless it's the most perfect leaf in the world. Okay, but still, even if it's the most perfect leaf in the world, it's still going to be different somewhere on that leaf. Okay, and same thing with such as like a flower. That is an organic shape. All right, so whenever you think about organic, think about nature. All right, and that's the best way to explain that. All right, geometric, you can divide it in half, same on both sides. Organic, you can divide it in half, it is not the same on both sides. And you can find it in nature. Okay, geometric things, or geometric, excuse me, things. Geometric shapes you do not find in nature. Those are things such as things. Those are shapes and well, if you're looking just at the flat part, at the front part, those are buildings. Those are your TVs. Those are the screens on your computers. The tops of your cups. The tops of your cups are like circles. So those are geometric shapes, okay? All right, moving on to color. Color is color, okay? So there are three primary colors, okay? So let's quickly do an example of our color wheel. There are three primary colors, and that is red, blue, and yellow. Now, if we mix red and yellow, what do we get? Orange. If we mix red and blue, what do we get? Purple. If we mix blue and yellow, what do we get? Green. All right, so those three colors, the reason they are called primary colors, I'm gonna star them. The reason these three are called primary colors is because they make every other color wheel on the rainbow or on the spectrum, okay? Those colors make all the colors that are out there, except for black and white. Black and white are neutral colors, so is brown. Brown is whenever you mix all of the colors together. Now you can get a darker brown, you can get a lighter brown, depends on how what exactly you're mixing. But if you mix all the colors together, they're gonna make brown. Okay, so brown, white, and black are neutral colors. Secondary colors, those are the colors that the primary colors make, like orange, purple, green. Those are the secondary colors, okay? So primary colors, red, blue, yellow. Secondary colors, orange, purple, green, all right? Now, moving on to texture. What is texture? I always talk about texture. All right, texture. Texture is how something looks like something feels, okay? So if we have, and this is, it's gonna be interesting, but if we have, I'm gonna try to draw it as best as I can. Let's say this is grass, some thick grass, but let's say that's grass. Does it look rough? Does it look soft? Does it look pointy? To me, looking at this, it looks pointy. It does not look soft. But if I were to take a cloud, that definitely looks soft. Okay? So, texture, that is how something looks like something feels. Okay? So, pillows, soft. Tree limbs, kind of rough. Okay? What else? Stuff that's smooth, rough, bumpy, sharp, all of that. Okay? Now, value, one of my other favorite elements of art. and I almost misspelled it. Value is house. No, it's not. Value is when something goes from dark to light or from light to dark. So let's say my darkest value is this one right here. It is not going to be that color on every one of these squares. It's going to consistently get lighter. Okay, so even if you're going from black to white or from purple to yellow, you can still make that have a value. Okay, so like this pencil right here, it would be a value. I would be able to do this one dark as I can. So black, a dark gray, and for time purposes, I'm gonna try to be very quick on this gray. And then what you would do for the next one, what would you do? Are you gonna make it the same color or the same shade? No, you're gonna make it slightly lighter. Why? Because value goes from light to dark or dark to light. It does not stay the same. So we're gonna make it slightly lighter, and then we're gonna make this slightly lighter. Just like that. All right, so what's value again? Light to dark or dark to light. Okay, so dark to light. Oh shoot, dark to light or light to dark. Okay. All right. Next one is form. Form. All right. Form is whenever you take a shape. Let's see. What shape is this? Square. And we take that shape and we turn it into 3D. So it is no longer flat. It has three dimensionals. It's three-dimensional. Three dimensions. That means it has a top, side, bottom, back, all of that. All right. Same thing with this right here. The 2D of this is called a triangle. But if we add this to it, it becomes a form. Okay, it becomes 3D, it becomes three-dimensional. That means I can see a top, bottom, side. All right, now even with this shape right here, if I add value to this shape, it no longer becomes flat, or it's no longer a circle. It becomes a sphere. All right, that means even though it doesn't have sides and corners like a cube or like a pyramid, it still has that top, bottom, side. It is not flat. Okay, so anytime you see the element form, that means that it is 3D. So we have darkness and we have lightness for our sphere. Can't really see that, but I'll hold it up a little bit. You see that? Darkness, light. Okay. All right, now the last one is space. Another one of my favorite elements of art. They're all my favorite. I love space. Okay, so space is basically whenever you see that there is distance in the back. Okay, so one way to think about this is if you have a foreground, which means you have something in the front, and space always has a horizon line. Okay, so this right here, this line right here where the sky meets the land, that is called a horizon line or a vanishing point. All right, the horizon line is the line. The vanishing point is where everything goes to. And we're not going to go into that. But space is when you look like it looks like something is going off into the distance. So if you're guessing what this is right now, all right, space. All right, now this is a road. Does that road look like it's staying the same sides the whole time. No, it looks like it's going back. Now, if I put this bush right here or this bush right here, then I have this bush right here and this bush right here, this bush right here, or this bush right here. That looks like it's going off into the distance. Whenever it looks like you have something up front, something in the middle, something in the back, that is space. Okay, so that is the elements of art. All right, I really encourage you guys to do this journal before you get into your project. That way you have an idea of what each of these elements are. And in 1 second, I'm going to record a video talking about the principles of art. Okay, so here's this. All right, and I will take a picture of it and post it onto the bottom of the journal to help you guys out. Okay. And if you need any help with the elements of art, feel free to email me, class dojo me, or call me at the school during my planning period. It's from 1:30 to 3. Thank you guys.